In today's culture of having social media and technology that allows everyone to connect with others so easily, it actually feels like we're disconnected more than ever. And now more than ever, I think we can learn a thing or two about family and connections with people. So, who do we call family? Is it the people we are blood related to? Is it the people who raised us and took care of us? Or is it simply whoever you choose to be called family? When it comes to found family, Nami expresses this sentiment the most. She may just look like a greedy cat burglar, who's eye candy for the audience. But Oda doesn't write female characters with such little depth. But he also doesn't write them with such little titties too. So, I guess it's a win-win. Today I want to dive into Nami's character, her role as the Navigator, why she's a great Navigator, and I want to talk about her dream, which is to create the first world map of One Piece. Nami is a swindling, greedy, mischievous, and devious vixen. At least that's what it's portrayed in the beginning of the show. But as I said earlier, there's much more depth to her than meets the eyes. Similar to another beloved anime character that we couldn't help sexualize, Nami has layers, like an onion. With her flashback, we get to see who she actually is, peeling back those layers. She suppresses her pain, shoulders the responsibility of protecting the village by herself, and even swallows the bitter pill of working with the man who killed her mother. Working with Arlong is also where she gains her affinity to money, thinking that money can solve all her problems, and that money is equal to life. So she's always trying to get more money, not really because she's greedy, but because she wants to make sure she has enough of it to always be able to save anyone in need. For example, like with Kami at the slave auction in Sabodi. Nami is the definition of putting on a brave face to protect the ones she loves. But it all collapses after Arlong betrays her. All the layers peel back and she breaks down, leading to one of the most iconic moments in One Piece that I talked about in the Luffy episode. But let's backtrack a little bit to her mother. Nami's mother, Bellemere, is integral to who Nami is. Bellemere is Nami's adoptive mother, where she found Nami and her sister Nojiko stranded during a war. Nami learns from a young age what family truly is. To her, family is not something you are born into, but rather it's the people who are there for you and took care of you. It's your found family. She learns this from Bellemere when she gives up her life to save both Nami and Nojiko, refusing to not claim they are her children. The bond of family is the strongest that can be for Nami. And to her, family means you sacrifice everything for them, just as Bellemere did for her. That's why she puts on this brave face and all these layers of the onion, because she will stop at nothing to try to protect her family. And she feels responsible for her mother's death and does everything herself, trying to be all stoic. But that's not really who she is. She's actually a scaredy cat. She's afraid of a lot of things. If you look at the show, she's one of the weakling trios, as people would like to call it. Literally a scaredy cat. That's where Luffy comes in and teaches Nami a lesson. Nami finally understands that family doesn't just mean sacrifice. It means helping each other. To help each other achieve their dreams, their goals. Support one another in times of need. She finally unravels all her layers and becomes herself, relying on Luffy, relying on her new family, her newfound family, the Strawhats, to help her, as she will help them too. She's still quite the mischievous, greedy cat burglar, but now she's also the loving and caring mother figure of the crew. Tough love at times, but she truly feels like the mom of the crew, scolding even the captain when he's being a dumbass, and being the mature one in many situations. It makes sense that she's the mother figure of the crew too, because you know what they say, mothers know best, and Nami probably holds the most important role on the crew, the Navigator. Nami is just outright a god tier Navigator. She is just so overpowered, probably the GOAT of Navigators. Like, she can just look up at the sky, lick the butt cheeks of the wind, and just tell you there's a storm brewing. And at the time, it'll look all clear. And 5 minutes later, you're in a storm. There really isn't any explanation to this other than Nami is just built different. She just has this innate ability, and she loves studying maps and cartography. But why does she love studying maps so much? Is it really just something she picked up as a kid and just ended up loving it? It can be as simple as that, but I'd like to go a little bit deeper. Nami was truly lost, literally and figuratively. She was a war orphan with no direction, and even when she was trying to save her village and trying to work with Arlong, she felt lost too, with no real direction other than just hope for the best and save up enough money so that she can buy her village. And after that, who knows? She was literally in this purgatory during that time. But with Bellemere and her found family, she was able to develop this passion of cartography. Without their support, maybe she would never have become a navigator. And maybe because of her nature as a lost child, she was naturally attracted to the idea of making maps, creating a tool to find people, to connect with people. There may be other reasons as to why she loves cartography so much, but I think this reason makes the most sense. Nami's navigation prowess doesn't just come with her innate genius, but also with her hard work. A good navigator would just let her natural abilities guide her. But Nami has been shown time and time again to be the hardest working navigator. As a child, and unfortunately as a slave to Arlong, she created thousands of maps. Like, look at her room in Arlong Park. It's crazy. And this is as a child. As she travels the Grand Line, she's charting and mapping out the world as she goes. Even when she goes to Weatheria, she studies hard and becomes a freaking weather wizard. A mix of passion, innate talent, and hard work makes her the GOAT navigator. But one thing she also does as the navigator is make decisions on where to go and plan out courses. She acts almost as a pseudo captain, making decisions that Luffy is just incapable of making. This is where her motherly aspects come in clutch, as you can always trust Nami to lead the crew, because she's the mom, she knows best, and you can trust her because she's family, and she sees the crew as her family too. At the end, Nami is destined to be the first one to create a world map of One Piece. She has the skills, determination, work ethic, and the family to help her do it. I think the same reason she wants to create the first world map is the same reason as to why she got into cartography in the first place. Her nature as a lost child nudges her towards wanting to find family and build connections. Hell, building connections and relationships works towards her wanting a lot of money too. Just imagine how much money you can make selling this world map, and how much money all these connections can bring. I believe Nami wants to make this world map to also help orphans find homes. There's a theory I heard on Reddit that after the story ends, Nami will open an orphanage, riding around on a sky island, picking up lost children across the world, finding them a home, finding them family. This is only possible with a map of the world. It makes a lot of sense after seeing her save the giant-eyed children at Punk Hazard. You get a taste of Mommy Nami and her possibility of being an orphan mother. There is no doubt Nami is capable of making a world map of One Piece. Her dream is inevitable. But what she'll do after with her dream is what's really interesting. Only time will tell, but I'm sure it'll involve her family. Nami may seem greedy, but money to her is just as important as life. She's still a little devious and a pickpocket, but she truly loves her family and will support them no matter what. She shows this by being the mother of the crew, scolding them every now and then, but also steering them in the right direction, as a mother would. Her navigation skills are unmatched. She even acts as a pseudo captain, leading the crew through the Grand Line through treacherous waters. Without her navigation, the crew would literally go nowhere. When all is said and done, Nami will stand atop of the world, with a map of it in her hand, and her family beside her. Thanks for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. Tune in next time where I'll be talking about someone outside of the Straw Hat crew, Portgas the Ace. So, see you all. Peace.